Joining us now, our lively panel. We have today with us Republican pollster Frank Luntz, author and syndicated columnist Ann Coulter, Democratic strategist Chris Kofinis, and CBS Sunday Morning contributor and commentator Nancy Giles. How do you like that? I actually walked and talked. I didn't chew gum, though. Let's point that out. I want to go down the line. Your reaction to last night first, Ann Coulter.
A few things. One is I was impressed by how gracious both McCain and Obama were. In fact, all of the concession and victory speeches were incredibly gracious, but one, Hagan, who beat Liddy Dole. She was the only one who was a little testy. And I'm surprisingly peaceful with the reaction. It wasn't a total blowout like in '84, and it appears that Al Franken lost. So it's a good night all around.
Oh, that's not right.
How about you?
I was struck by the emotion of it. It was, just seeing people just in the city of New York who were just so viscerally excited by it, and then seeing all the images. I mean, clearly a historic day, I would say, on two counts. One, we've elected the first African American, the first minority of any Western power as the head of state, which is an incredible statement about this country. And I said the other, I think, was historic. I think Ann was actually inspired by Barack Obama's speech last night.
Let's not go too far.
Yeah,
Be as gracious as I can.
It was an incredible night. I was really struck by the early returns. I mean, that Barack Obama and his campaign won Indiana, Ohio early, crushed him in Pennsylvania. I mean, Virginia. I mean, these are just stunning
Let's
accomplishments.
talk about some of this stuff, Frank, because this is your business. This is what you do. I'm going through the demographics here. Barack Obama wins 18 to 29 by a giant margin. He wins 30 to 44 by a pretty good margin. He wins 45 to 64. The only demographic John McCain won last night was 65 plus.
And the problem is the 65 plus who are voting Republican are most likely to die over the next 4 years. So Republicans better support health care insurance to keep their voters alive. The issue, what I found interesting was the flip side of that was the 18 to 29-year-olds, and particularly first-time voters. I did a survey last night for Declare Yourself. These are people getting their information from the web, which the GOP has no presence on. These are people who are tired of negative campaigning, and John McCain did engage in it. And the Republican Party is absolutely devoid of any support among that segment of the population.
Yeah. Our polls even showed, even 2 weeks ago, Republican supporters of John McCain were like, we don't want to hear about this stuff anymore. What do you want to do? Somehow he didn't get that message across. What was your response last night?
It's hard for me to even speak because it just affected me so deeply, and I wish my parents were here to see it, and they're not. I had similar experiences as a New Yorker, just seeing so many people so touched and so moved, talking to cab drivers, talking to security people. Did you vote today? Oh yeah, I voted. Whereas 4 years ago and 8 years ago, a lot of the same people felt their votes didn't count. And among other things, I was thinking about how young kids are going to look at this day and think that they can really do anything they wanted. My parents raised all of us to feel that way, and yet and still, I didn't ever think I would see this happen. And I didn't realize, Harry, how much I really never thought that a black man would be president. It's incredible.
Took your breath away.
It took my breath away.
Right. Very quickly, how do Republicans put Humpty Dumpty back together again? Can they?
I think it'll be a lot easier with John McCain out of the way. He was never a true Republican.
Okay, and how does this new president govern?
Well, I think he's going to govern the way he actually ran his campaign. And what's striking to me is he did something that Democrats in the past didn't do as well, which is he went out and reached out to different types of voters, evangelical Christians, Republicans, rural voters. He's going to bring, I think, a lot of different forces together to govern. I think it's going to be a smart strategy.
All right. This is this now what moment. This,
Right.
These guys are waking up this morning, and could it be any worse? Could you think of any other thing that could possibly go wrong? Frank, how does he do this now? He's got the votes, he's got a Congress that theoretically should be sympathetic to what he wants to do. How does he govern?
He made a statement yesterday that he's going to be president of all the people, and he reached out to those who hadn't voted for him. I thought that was very significant. I think in one of his first 3 or 4 appointees, it needs to be an outspoken Republican, a conservative, where he says, I'm not going to put just a token individual at the Department of Transportation and say, that's my bipartisanship. That's number one. And number two is that it needs to be generational. I like the fact Rahm Emanuel is an amazing guy. If you've met him and talked to him, he's sharp and
He's
he
a
is something
force.
And I'm hoping that that's the type of people that Obama surrounds himself with. Less ideological people who've got good common sense and know how to get the job done.
We're listening to Russ Mitchell earlier talking to some people in a diner, and this woman is saying he's going to take the country socialist. People are not going to be paying taxes. That's how he's going to be reelected forever. There is so much animosity out there in the electorate aimed toward him. Is there anything he can do to ameliorate that?
Well, I agree with Frank. I mean, I think he's doing it. He already said.
That's on a kind of highfalutin political,
but you know what?
tra-la-la
But I
level,
think he's
in the
also-
people's guts. I'm talking in their guts.
I know you're talking about the guts. I think that also his way of communicating with young people and of saying we all are going to be in this fight together and inspiring people to get involved and take action. I think that really is going to resonate with people. And yeah, maybe he needs to make somebody like McCain.
Kumbaya is not going to work with that woman in that diner.
Well,
I'm sorry.
you know what? But if things actually start coming together, and
Right.
if he's able to redefine what Democratic and what Republican means, and people can actually work in a coalition, how can she keep complaining?
Do you see a country unified behind Barack Obama administration? Is that possible in your mind's eye?
Yes. I
Oh
mean,
my
I think
God, I
he
can't
has
believe you
two
said that.
things going for him. One is an adoring press corps, and although I would like to say Republicans will treat him with the same generosity of spirit that they've treated our Republican president. Actually, I don't think
didn't deserve
Republicans
the
are like
respect,
that.
Ann. He
Hang
didn't
on.
deserve it.
I don't think Republicans are like that. I mean, this woman in the diner, yeah, that's a fear. We don't want him to pass a socialist health care plan, but no, Republicans will not respond the way Democrats will. You see Obama and you think, okay, he is our president, and I wish him luck. I hope he doesn't do the crazy stuff we're worried he's going to do.
Chris?
That's a ringing endorsement right there. Boy, you know, one of the
Better than Bush Lied.
one of the
Bush's Hitler.
one of the
Quick.
most significant things that I think Barack Obama said when he was talking about his philosophies in his speech, and it was buried and didn't get a lot of attention, was, you know, this isn't about big government or small government. It's about good government.
Right.
That is a winning philosophy. He focuses on bread and butter issues, what people care about. He's going to be a great and successful president.
Thanks for hanging around this morning, kids. Do appreciate it.